Welcome to Founders Future, a podcast powered by Closers.io, where we dive into the journeys of innovative entrepreneurs and explore the road ahead of them and their companies. I'm your host, Olivia Salmons, and in each episode, we'll uncover the stories behind impactful ventures, the challenges faced along the way, and the strategies driving their future growth. Today, I'm super excited to be joined by Brynne, founder and CEO of Cause Folks, a social media and thought leadership agency dedicated to helping mission-driven leaders and organizations go from invisible to in demand. Drawing on nearly a decade of work with NGOs, advocacy groups, and social impact organizations in DC, Brynne helps amplify powerful voices, craft compelling stories, and turn advocacy into influence without sacrificing authenticity or integrity. Brynne, welcome to Founders Future. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me, Olivia. It's great to be here.
It's great to have you here, and it's a pleasure to be speaking with you. So I'm excited to actually dive in and learn more about your journey. And with all of my guests, I do like to start at the beginning. So if you don't mind taking me back to what it was that you were doing before you started up Cos Folks, and then from there, what was the motivation behind it?
Absolutely. I got my start in DC as a social media manager working for nonprofits. And I was often the one person social media quote unquote team that many nonprofits have, just one person trying to do it all, managing multiple accounts and multiple plates spinning. And really, truly just loved what I was doing, working for some incredible causes, really seeing the impact that social media can have on the world in real communities. But my world turned upside down when I had my son, who's now 8 years old. And I decided to give freelancing a try just to get more flexibility and be home with him more. And so I quit my job and started freelancing and really just fell in love with working with multiple clients all over the world, helping them figure out social media and really helping them not burn out and find a good way to do this in the most impactful way. And as I was doing this, I was starting to notice this trend of the personal accounts taking off more than the brand accounts. So I was helping CEOs and executives, subject matter experts start to build out their own personal LinkedIn, Twitter, some on Instagram as well, and just helping them build out their expertise online, which was a really cool experience. And seeing that content often 4 to 5 times perform than the brand accounts. So when I started Cause Focus 3 years ago, I knew that would be the core of what we would do. We would really help these subject matter experts tap into their expertise, their genius, figure out how to build their thought leadership online in order to have a bigger impact in the world.
Amazing. So really like playing on that influence of the personal branding, which is like taking off compared to, as you say, more of the traditional company branding and using that as the main source of, I suppose, awareness is a great way to put it. So let's dive into that a little bit more then. I'm intrigued to find out. So walk me through, who would you say at this point is your like ideal customer? And then from there, how is you help them and how do you support them?
Yeah, we don't niche down by industry. We niche down by type of leader that we work with. So we found this works really well with someone who is an innovator. They're very curious, they're very creative. They're often on the cusp of something new. So they have a brand new idea, they have a new way of doing something that they turn their back on the old way and they're saying, nope, there's a better way to do this and we can figure this out. So we love partnering with leaders in sustainable energy, nonprofit leaders. We have some clients who are working in child safety online, doing some really important advocacy work there, changing policies of how tech impacts kids and families. So really, again, it boils down to they have this innovative new idea. They need to tell the world about it and they need to build trust around this idea in order for it to really take off and add fuel to that flame. So we love helping them pull out those ideas from their heads. Oftentimes, these are startup founders or scholars even who just have tons of ideas packed into their brain and they don't know where to start to actually get it out into the world. So we partner with them and help pick out those genius moments and the stories, their expertise, and help them shape it in order to really change hearts and minds around their concepts and ideas and start to build a movement that can really have a strong impact on their communities.
Amazing. So really streamlining their brain is where my mind went straight away, helping them unpack those ideas, really put them on paper. And also, it seems like you're working with leaders that are having a real influence on the world as well, which is really great to see. I know you mentioned you didn't like niche down for like companies, but having that sectors where you're actually helping and making a difference in the world must like bring great value to yourself as well, like moving forward.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's truly the reason that kept me in social media was being able to work with these types of
Yeah.
leaders and seeing, okay, this doesn't have to be all trolls and hate speech and all the overwhelm that comes with being on social all the time. I think I would have left a long time ago if that were the case. But being able to work with these incredible leaders and thinkers who have this positive outlook on how things could be better has been able to reignite my passion for social and just be able to stick in the industry and help people figure out how to do this.
Yeah, finally use it for good, which I think is the
Definitely.
key moving forward.
Yeah.
Amazing. So what is it like to work with you then? Is this more on like a one-to-one level, or what would it be like to work with you as a client at this point?
Yeah, our standard offer is that we do a full month assessment when that's called our foundation phase one. So we team up with a leader, we interview them, we dig into their profile, their LinkedIn profile, we understand what's working, who their audience is currently, and truly wrap our minds around this new idea that they have. So lots of calls and interviews and really picking their brains to understand their expertise there. And then once we have that, we build them a custom strategy based on what they want to achieve. So LinkedIn is the platform where we've really seen this take off the most. That's our expertise, where 90% of our clients are operating right now. So we'll build a LinkedIn strategy. We'll talk about where to find the people who would really be inspired by the type of content they're sharing, but also the people who need to trust them in order for their idea to really take off. So oftentimes these people have an audience already of just their colleagues or former coworkers, family members, but positioning them as a true industry leader takes that intention and that strategic thought behind it in order to figure out who they need to connect with, what type of high value content do they need to be putting out consistently in order to position them in that way.
Yeah, beautiful. So like working on the psychology of the marketing as well as the actual kind of tangible itself, as in like the numbers and the branding, which is
Mm-hmm.
really important, key to it. So with that all being said, I'm also intrigued to find out how about you go about acquiring your customers yourself. So like what channels, what methods are you finding most effective for you?
Yeah, LinkedIn is our number one lead generator. No surprise, that's where we specialize. And I wouldn't be using it so much if it didn't work. That is our number one. So it's primarily inbound for us. 90% of our leads are inbound from LinkedIn,
Okay.
and that's from my own personal content that's posting 3 times a week. I'll do some comments, a little bit of outreach here and there, but a lot of the times people are just reaching out saying, "Hey, I saw this post and that's really interesting. I'd love to chat about it." Every now and then we'll get some word of mouth or some people who say they saw a post that was shared or something their boss sent them through email, but usually it does come back to LinkedIn content. So that's where we're getting most of our new clients from.
Beautiful. And as you mentioned, they're pretty much organic as well, so it's all inbound. Have you ever run any form of ads at all to like really gear up the traffic? Never had the need
Yep,
to.
we have not done that yet. Yeah, we might explore that,
Okay.
especially as we're growing and scaling. But so far, year three, we're just fully organic.
Nice. So always had that nice consistency coming through. Maybe just need to top up as we look to move to that next level, but we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
So then walk me through. Are you still like a solopreneur at this point as well? Obviously 3 years in, as you just mentioned, or do you have a team that are helping you out at the moment as well?
We have a team, yep. So I'm the full-time employee solo business,
Yeah.
LLC, but we have 10 contractors who help make all this content and design and analyze. We have an amazing chief AI officer now who's helping us build out some AI strategy and build agents and help our clients use AI in all of this content. And then we also have a psych researcher as well who's helping us build out empathy research around our content. So every single point of whether it's posts or analytics, has some sort of way of going a little bit deeper and understanding audiences through an empathetic lens.
Amazing. And with that being said as well, how long do you tend to work with a client for? So how long is the process and how long does it typically take?
Our minimum is 3-month commitment. So
Okay.
that's the 90
Yeah.
days, really important to get started. And then they get on a retainer that's either 6 months or annual. And the majority of our clients have stuck with us from the beginning. So we have clients who have been here through day one, and now we're going into year three. So it's exciting to stick with them and just see that momentum building, keep building that thought leadership for them in partnership with them.
Yeah, 100%. And I suppose it's always, do you always have to constantly change or adjust or adapt to the market as well as it moves over the course of time? Because obviously 3 years is quite a long span within the marketing cycle, if that's okay for me to say.
It definitely is. Yeah, things are changing every single day.
Yeah.
And I think my parents thought I was a little crazy for starting a business in social media that changes literally every day. And I was like, yeah, why not? Why not? Like, I'm already used to social changing. Why not also be an entrepreneur where everything's up in the air and it's a complete roller coaster?
Yeah.
But yeah, so the big thing for me when I started was figuring out the core things that would never change, no matter what the market's doing, no matter how I'm feeling or how our clients are feeling, contractors, whatever, we need to have those core components. And so for that, it's are we building community-centered content? Are we being intentional and thoughtful with everything that we put out? And are we actually moving the needle forward and changing hearts and minds with this content? So it might change about like where we're posting the content. It might change video versus photo. All of those things are constantly changing, right? But the core of what we do and who we work with and the goal that we have when we work with our clients is not changing.
Love it. Amazing. So still keeping you on your toes a little bit, but overall, like the whole process is pretty streamlined until we just have to adjust around with a little bit to the end. And
Yeah.
then, so
And to be honest,
what?
I need that or else I get bored.
Yeah,
So
I can
I love
imagine.
it.
Yeah,
I
I
love
can
it.
imagine.
Yeah.
And then in terms of, so you mentioned obviously the team and stuff as well. Do you have a sales team that are helping you with that side of things as well, or are you taking that stuff yourself, being obviously the founder of the
Yeah. It's
company?
just me doing the sales.
And how do you find that process as well? Was that something new to you coming into the business, or do you had experience beforehand?
I had experience in a way of I did retail for a while right out of college and got really good at selling clothes to women off the street. No. Yeah, so I had some basic sales knowledge, but yeah, this was new to me and it surprised me how much I enjoyed it. And so it's something, again, as we scale, I know I'll probably will need to hire some help or just vet and figure out to make sure my time is protected and we're spending the best amount of time with the people on the calls that we need to. But I just love talking to the leaders. Truly, it energizes me. I just had two of them this morning, and I just feel like I'm learning so much when I talk to these incredible leaders, and I get to teach them something. So even though it's a sales call, it feels like just a great conversation with really impressive people who are doing incredible things in the world. So I don't see giving that up anytime soon.
Awesome. And I think that's the best bit about sales is when it is comfortable for you. It just naturally comes through and you don't feel like you're forcing it. It's always a good part. On my sign, it's always a good sign that the call's gone well. And then with that being said, so what are your plans for the next 6 to 12 months and what does the future look like for you? When you think of scaling, like what is your goal?
We had an incredible year. Our revenue grew 50% and we grew our profits from 130% from last year. So we're going into 2026 with a lot of momentum, which is exciting. I think as we look at 2026 priorities, with everything going on with AI, we definitely we're leaning into it, we're learning it. It's part of our business, but I'm just more committed than ever before to become more human and more expertise, just build more expertise around what we do. So we're looking at hiring more content strategists, just getting more face-to-face time with our clients, really bringing out the human side of them in a way that AI can't do and is very limited to do. I'm excited about that.
Lovely. And where are you finding the biggest challenge for yourself in achieving that? Because I suppose AI is a very hot topic at the moment. So how are you navigating keeping the humanity within the company?
Yeah, we have a commitment to our clients. We're very transparent with how we're using AI and
Yeah.
that a human is touching their content before and after. So there we are interviewing them as people. We use AI to streamline, make things efficient, brainstorm, research, but a human is definitely part of that process before handing it off to a client. A human is analyzing and optimizing the strategy. We're always reviewing their profile to see what could be better. So that is our commitment to our clients, that even if
Yeah.
you work with us and you're seeing us use AI and we're talking about it, that you always have our human brains on your side, partnering with you and making sure everything's truly customized and personalized. Because that otherwise, what are we even doing, right? If we're just producing generic, watered down content, that's not thought leadership. That's not going to change people's minds or convince them to get on board with your new idea. So we have to be fully human and fully committed to that.
To keep in the integrity. I like that. I like that a lot. And I think moving forward, AI is not what we should be leaning on either. So it's nice to see, again, a positive outlook coming from social media when it comes to AI. Amazing. And thank you so much for joining me today and for sharing your incredible journey and insight with us. Where can our listeners reach out to work with you or connect with you if they would like to do so?
I'd love to connect with you on LinkedIn. Of course, we talked about that a lot. And then you can also go to our website, which is causefocus.com, and that's focus with a K.
Beautiful. Amazing. And thank you again for joining us. And to our listeners, if you enjoyed this episode, please do not forget to subscribe to Founders Future by wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you are a business owner, specifically a coach, consultant, or agency owner, and you're really looking to scale your business and you want to enhance your sales and marketing efforts, visit closers.io to hop on a call with one of our team and discover how we went from zero to $30 million per year in less than 3 years. But until then, keep on climbing and we will see you on the next one.